face your book.
No, you can don't do all of that for us. You can drop. You show us love, with bars. Give us
I,
money.
I was once like you, but now,
Show us love with money. We don't want words of advice.
yeah. Uh,
Okay.
yeah.
So
So,
as not to waste your time, we're looking to get a bit of like a background so everybody on the call they understand, who Felix is, what he does, where he's currently at before you now move into the presentation. Would that be hope that's not too much?
no, my stuff is actually less of a
Okay.
thing than the
Oh,
link is in the chat. Everybody, you can go to the Fig Jam and express yourself. When I start, I'll start asking questions. It's more of a
okay.
discussion.
Cool.
So I'm not here to lecture people, please. I'm here to guide us to have this discussion. So um, that's how we're going to do it. We're not going to just do the
Okay.
boring and stuff like that. So I everybody knows how to use Speak Jam now. And if you don't know how to use it, well, this is like your opportunity to actually learn it. So yeah. And yeah,
Okay.
about me. Um okay, my name is Felix Ayoola, and currently I work at Get Equity as a product designer, and I also work at Foot Canvas as a product designer. Um, I've been really privileged, yes, that's the word, to be part of like very amazing projects, like Number, Number, um, AfriX, Food Llama. That one is in the UK, and a whole lot of like other stuff. Also, like at my work at Get Equity, I've been privileged to be part of building, the applications, the B2C, B2B, B2VC, and like our product as architecture is much more complex than most companies, right? And I've been privileged to be part of like those kind of projects. But if you like want to get like background story, I was born in Igangan, Oyo State. Most of you probably don't know where that is. But I was born there in November 4th, 1999, and I moved to Lagos when I was about one to live with my family member. Oh, that was where I grew up. So I grew up in Lagos, in Ikotun. Um, my up until like when I was 5, I was living in Ejigbo. If you are familiar with Lagos, um, all those places. So I was living in Ejigbo until I was 5. Did my primary no nursery school, nursery school, kindergarten at Ejigbo. Then I moved to Ikotun when I was 5 years old. My aunt got married at that time. So we moved to Ikotun. And yes, that was where I did like most of my schooling. Well, for the most part, I was not exactly a very interesting kid. I was just bookish. Actually, that's the only thing. That's the only interesting thing about me. I was just bookish. Every other thing, I didn't know how to play ball, I didn't know how to play tennis, I didn't know how to do anything else. I just know how to I know how to like outsmart somebody in book. That's all. So that was much of my life. All the other stories you don't need. Then I discovered that there was something called phones, and then I really liked them. So I learned how to press them, and like then people started asking me to help them work on their phones and set their phones and the likes. That led to an interest in computer. The interest in computer led to an interest in design. So that's like how me I got to this place today. So I started designing properly, yes, in 2016, no, 2017 ish. Yes, I started designing properly in 2017. Um, and I've been designing since then up till now. And when I started, I was doing graphic design, making flyers for students, businesses, you know, just the basic boring stuff, right? That everybody does when they're starting. Then in like 2019 into 2020, actually mostly I had a shift of philosophy. So the thing about design is that you might not know this, but uh, your philosophy, your approach to design actually affects a lot of how your work eventually comes out, because it affects the way you perceive the value of the work you do. As such, yes, it also affect the way the kind of effort you would put into it and the like. So you want to have the right kind of philosophy. You want to understand that design is, it's a prestigious profession. It's a very, very, very important one, and that is not an overestimation. That is true. That is fact. You can kill somebody, you can save lives, you can cause wars, you can basically do anything that, the pen is mighty. Well, you have typography, you have pen tool, so all those things. Anyways, so design is a very, very important. So in 2020, I had the change in philosophy about how design was. Moved from like a hustle mentality to like trying to be a professional in like in design, being a professional designer as opposed to somebody that just designs for money and stuff like that. So I learned that design was very important. Listen to people like Chris Do, Ellen Lupton, Paula Shah, all those people that like they are blow in design, right? Then listen to the way they talk about design, and like I felt like, oh wow, this is like um very, very amazing. There's a way they talk about it that it feels like you are the best things in sliced bread. So, and that really helps you to ascertain the kind of value that you're contributing, and also perhaps how to even charge for it too, and the likes. So yeah, that was it, right? So that's me, and I you know tried I wanted to like be a product designer like since like when I started designing. But back then, there was a way all these UI designs to look. They were too perfect. And when I tried to make my own UI design, they just look like beans. It was not even, the gap was far. So I became like instead of like knowing that, oh, you will do a lot of rubbish um before I eventually do something that is, properly made, good stuff, right? But I didn't know that, so I did not look into that aspect, and I just gave up for like some years. Then eventually I went back to it, and by then my graphic design skill was, very okay, and it's basically the same field. It's just some differences and methodologies that differ, and some aspects like UX and the likes that changes when you change context and the likes. But the basics when it comes to visuals is the same typography, the same color, grids are the same. Yes, the context of where you're designing now changes, and then you have to think about adaptability, how your design. Yes, people already do all those, even in editorial designs before the advent of product design, but sort of understand, what is they're doing when it comes to products. And I always remember that you will always do nonsense when you start learning something new before you eventually do something that is not nonsense. So that's just how it was. So that being said, that's me. Currently, so currently I am exploring more aspect of design. So when I started designing, I was very monotonous, just text here, image here, all those kind of like plain kind of nonsense design. But now I have discovered that I can do much more than that. I can express myself through design. I can infuse parts of myself into my work and make it mine, and like so I am exploring that aspect of design. Also, I am trying to make design more of a lifestyle, less of a like less of a job, more of I like to design things, um not just screens or websites or logos or the likes. Yeah. So because like I I was afraid of product design for a while, I well picked up brand design along the way. Um, so now I've picked up product design back, and that positions me uniquely to talk about the topic that we have today, which is the nexus between brand design and product design. See, if you went to like normal school like me that did not teach you people big English, the meaning of this whole thing is the relationship between brand design and product design. How do they work together? And I think for most of us, you already you most likely have a little bit of understanding about the subject matter. The thing is, we probably just need to talk about it so that we can understand how better we can work together as brand designers and product designers, how we can get the best kind of work out and the likes. So yeah, that ends my about me. By the way, I've done data science before, web development, a whole lot of jargons before I finally got to this place. So in case there's somebody here that you lack clarity and you likes, just chill. Clarity eventually comes along the line. Yeah, I hope that helps someone. So let's get started. I've dropped the link in. I've not seen anybody on this jam file, which is very weird, because the reason why I dropped the link is so that all of you can be on the FigJam files. So I'm going to copy the link and paste it again. Well, everything I'm going to be doing, there's no presentation. I'm not presenting anything to you. This is the presentation, and I've seen one person now. Yes, more people should join, please. I want to share the link to the. I don't know what's wrong with my Figma. Let me paste. Let me repaste it. Yeah. So guys, that's the link. Everybody, please join. Come to FigJam. Let's be talking. You can hear what I'm saying, so you can also see what I'm doing, and you can also draw and make doodles what you are learning, and like this file is going to still be available after the class. So there's no your stuff will always be there, and if you want to delete it, you can delete it. That one is not a problem. So put your stuff, express yourself, answer your questions. Let's know like what you think about the matter and things like that. So let's get started. Let's get started, right? Are there any brand designers here? If you are a brand designer, can you? There are only 4 people on that's 6. There are about 20 something people on the call. Guys, this is not how we do things, please. Oh, most of you, why are you guys joining on your phone? Okay, if you joined on your phone, watch you just have to watch us. But people that do not join on their phone, please come to FigJam. Let's talk. Anyways, let's get started. So what brand designers in the house, let me see your hand. If you are present on the FigJam, you can drop a note that you're a brand designer, make an inside joke or something. Brand designers in the house, let me see your hand. You can indicate in the comment section. Alternatively, if you don't want to drop your stuff on the FigJam. I don't believe that there's no brand designer here. Toby, Did we I mean, or is this just for product designers?
So many people on this call are product designers and some are brand design enthusiasts as well. So
Okay, so if you're a brand design enthusiast or brand designer, let me see your hand. Show an indication or something. Drop something in the comment section. Drop something on the file or something. Show up. This is how people find you and give you job. If you like, stay in your corner, and not tell us what you do. Just be there. Anyways, since brand designers have refused to talk, brand design is a very, very emotional part of design, actually. It mostly involves you trying to use emotions to influence the way people perceive something logically. So the thing is, people don't buy things or interact with things or belong to communities or like do things just because it is the best thing for them to do. In fact, sometimes people do things that they know that is harmful to them just because they want to enjoy the pleasure in the moment, right? So people don't always go for the best thing when they are supposed to pick things. Now, what you do as a brand designer is that you guide people's choices. There is a product, there is a company, there is a physical product, there is a chair, there is an organization, there is, just name it. And um, needs this organization needs representation, right? This is an organization. You need people to be able to relate with it. You need people to understand what this organization stands for. Sorry, I don't think that organization. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, this is an organization, right? So you've got this organization needs people to be able to know what it does. It wants to appeal to people. Not only that, if it's a startup, most likely it is also trying to get investors to, you know, invest in it because they need money to get to go to market fit, and the likes. Now, no, oh, sorry about that. Now, the very why branding becomes much more important, especially when it comes to the tech industry, is because, for example, now, when if you want to build a fintech app in this Nigeria, there's a very high chance that you will either be using Paystacks API, or you'll be using Flutterwaves API if you are going to do, online payments, right? Now, you and your competitor, you are using the same API, right? What differentiates you? Like, it's basically the same machine, if we can call it that, that runs what you do and what your competitor is doing. So that then begs the question that how do you differentiate, um let's say, CUDA from, okay, let's use PiggyVest. And PiggyVest, I know PiggyVest uses Paystack API or Flutter. Yeah, Paystack API, PiggyVest and Cowrywise. And this discussion would become more interesting because they both actually use Blue, and still somehow you can still differentiate between PiggyVest and Cowrywise. Now, this is the first stuff, guys. Everybody that's present on the Fig Jam, pick a note and write something about PiggyVest. Like, how do you perceive the difference between PiggyVest and Cowrywise? Like, when I say PiggyVest, what comes to your mind that makes it different from Carrywise. Basically, write a differentiation. Matthew, why did you delete your sticky note? I can see you. Why write your own differences between how you perceive the difference between Piggyvest and Carrywise in terms of the brand. And other very, very good debate is Paystack versus Flutterwave. How do you, okay, don't worry, let's do Piggyvest and Carrywise, then we will now do Paystack versus Flutterwave, and we'll see the differences that you guys see. Okay, so somebody is saying the user interface. Olumide, can you unmute and speak? Let's know what you mean by the user interface. Olumide Balogun.
Okay. Yeah.
Hi.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes. The one of the major differences, the design of the interface is quite different. It doesn't look alike in any way.
Okay. What have you used both apps?
Well, I've used Piggyvest. I've been using Piggyvest for over 2 years, but I've not really used Carrywise. But I know for a fact that the interface is quite different.
Okay. What I would say, okay, that's quite interesting. That's fine. I wanted to ask if you know some subtle differences between both of them, but because you've not really used both of them like that, I would not. Do you have any other thing that I think is different?
No, not really. No.
Okay.
I don't really know about Carrywise that much, but I know a lot about Piggyvest.
Okay. Awesome. Izuchi. So I hope I'm pronouncing your name properly. If I am not, please correct me. Can you tell us more about the logo and what you mean by it helping us to differentiate the brand identity, especially even though their colors are, relatively blue, the same blue. So yeah, relatively they are blue, not necessarily the same hue or shade of blue. So please go ahead.
Hi everyone.
Izuchi.
Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay. The brand identity of Piggyvest is the logo first of all is I don't know, with the P designed to look like a purse or something with a keyhole, but yeah, it's basically the shape of P looking like that. And then Carrywise is what's the logo of Carrywise? But yeah, it's actually different, and I believe everyone knows the difference when like this brand is this and this brand is that when they see the logo, basically.
Okay. I think that's good. Yeah, thank you for that. Matthew, go. Matthew Obanla.
Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah.
I can hear you.
Yes.
Why anybody else? Somebody, Ajala, why are you not? Where's your card? I cannot see your card. So the other people that Erica, Ajala Favor, Erica, who else has not? And that this anonymous person, you guys should drop your own contributions. Oh yeah, please continue. And if you are not here, you can drop your contribution in the chat. Matthew, please go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, so basically what I wrote here, I said Carrywise versus Piggyvest. That's what I wanted to write. Okay, so according to what I wrote here, I said the blue, there's difference in the blue. Like one is the shade of blue are very different. I know that very well. So there's a difference in user flow because I have used both apps before. I've used Piggyvest, I have saved Piggyvest, and I've also saved on Carrywise. The user flow is totally different. Like when it comes to when you want to save the flow, okay, do this before the calculation is different. So difference in saving terminologies like Piggyvest used to use Flex, dollar flex. Cowrywise use something about starch. They go their own research. They do some things about football or stuff like that. So the difference in logo and name concept, when I say piggy vest, like I just get the concept directly because I know it's a saving platform. Piggy vest, like the more of investment. I see that piggy vest tilts more to investment, why Cowrywise tilts more to financial education. Like they want to spend your money smartly. I think now I follow them a lot. I study what they do, and I see that Cowrywise, we probably on their social media, they do more financial education. They teach you how to save your money, how best you can do more with your money. That is what I see that Cowrywise does. And Piggyverse logo tells more that it's a saving platform. Like you save a form of investment. Why Cowrywise? Like makes you like when you say Cowrywise, I'm just using it literally. Piggyvest, money investment, saving investment. You are saving and you're investing. Cowrywise, your money and you're wise about it. That is the kind of diet that people
What
can say
did you
about it. Hello, am I still here?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. So I thought you were asking a question.
Yeah, like I couldn't hear you. That was what I was asking.
Okay. What I said last now was I said Cowrywise. The name, like I'm looking at the name when I'm let's say I'm analyzing the name when I say Piggyverse. Someone should look at it in terms of okay, what concept are they trying to bring? When I say Piggyverse like piggy, like you're saving and you're investing. That's what I can another approach I can give it to. And when I say Cowrywise, your money and you're wise about it. It's kind of financial education. Hello. Oh my God. This network is doing nonsense.
Matthew.
Hello. Yeah. Did you hear me? Did you hear what I said now?
Yeah. I did.
Okay.
And I think that's an amazing contribution. The things I have noticed are very, very, very important. So you guys can see the subtle differences between two brands that are operating in the same industry. Even they have the same audience, right? But somehow they have still found a way to differentiate themselves one from each other. Even if you start a debate about Cowrywise and Piggyverse now, you find out that they are loyalists. There are people that will defend Cowrywise against Piggyverse forever, that defend Piggyverse against Cowrywise. It's just like this Messi and Ronaldo debates that will never end, that all these people used to have. So that's just how it is, right? Even in the same like industry, you can see the reason why you need branding. Now let's talk about Flutterwave and Paystack. It is particularly interesting because there's a very high chance, except maybe you use barter cards or whatever, that you have not actually integrated Flutterwave or Paystack by yourself. But somehow you have a perception of those companies. So guys, based on the perception that you have, I want you to go to the Fig Jam and pick notes. Let's tell us the differences that you have perceived between Paystack and Flutterwave. And in fact, if you had the choice of picking one of them, which would you pick and why would you pick that one? Yeah, please go ahead. If you cannot make it to the Fig Jam, please drop your own stuff in the comment section on the Google Meet. And none of you are typing. I don't know why. Why would you come to a class if you know that you will not participate? It is not the best use of your time. Anyways, so to the guys that are on the Fig Jam, yes, I'm seeing what you're writing. Yeah, I'm just going to give us some time to do that. So in the meantime, while they do that, right, there's this very awesome explanation that I think it's Pixel Dan that came up with it. But Victor is the one that shared it, online, and that is that how you differentiate between graphic design, visual design, and product design. Now, the intersection of graphic design and marketing and communication goals That's where you have graphic design. You have posters here. You've got posters. You've got graphic t-shirts. You've got album covers. Basically, almost anything can fit into this place. This place is just about making things and making sure that things you are making, they are achieving this goal. They are communicating. They are marketing what it is that you are supposed to market. Now, when you come to visual design, brand and visual design, your goal becomes not marketing and communication. Your goal is to achieve brand strategy goals. So during brand strategy, we talk about tone of voice. You talk about tone of voice. You talk about color. You can talk about typography. You talk about how a brand is supposed to feel. So a brand is basically a person. I think we should explain that. So the thing is, branding is relatively like trying to woo someone. How many of you have toasted women before, or women that have toasted men? I'm assuming that everybody on this call, they're adults, by the way. Now, if you have not asked someone else before, please just assume that is something else I'm talking about. Anyways, but for people that ask people out, or no, let's even use a more platonic example. Finding a friend. There's this person that you like, and you like them from afar, right? Like you like the way they behave and likes, and you want to be their friend. Now, that person also has a kind of person that they would like to be friends with. So in order for both of you to become friends, you people have to align on what one person expects from friendship, and the other person has to be able to provide what the other person expects from friendship. That's the way friendship is actually going to work. Now, if the person is like a very, very important person, or maybe they're a big person or whatever, I'm saying this so that we can see why somebody would want to like spend a lot of time trying to make them their friend, right? Now, when we want to talk about that, let's talk about trying to make friends with someone that is very popular. One, they need to be able to perceive that you have value to add on to them. If they cannot perceive that, they will not want you to come into their space. So you, first off, you have to like behave like somebody that has value to offer, because that is the only way you're even going to get into that person's presence in the first place. Now, if you are able to do that, you still have to put some things in place so that you can have a public reputation that basically says that this person is a person of value, and it is the kind of person that you are, that the person that you want to make friends with, that important person, is looking for. Now, when you start, it becomes, oh, let's say you want to say, you start with, oh, I'm a valuable person. Now, when you say I'm a valuable person, that's your promise. That's your brand promise. Now, how do you now show people that, oh, as a valuable person, how do you let people know that you are a valuable person? You can't just be saying, I am a valuable person. That will not automatically make people see you as a valuable person. You have to actually contribute the value that you claim that you provide, right? So now, when you provide that value, right, people start perceiving you as, oh, okay, maybe it's one person that even give you your first chance. The person like, okay, this person does this and does this and does that and does that. They should be able to do this too, right? They give you a chance. Now, from there, your audience expands to maybe bigger people. You have like now have like a bigger set of audience, and then on and like until you have like enough public opinion for the person that you actually want to connect to be able to say, oh, okay, this person is a valuable person. Now, when the person you are trying to communicate to, that you were trying to connect to, says you are a valuable person, then the goal of branding is the person to perceive you as somebody that is a valuable person, and that has been achieved. That is what you wanted to do. Now, when it comes to startups and the likes, everybody, okay, Piggyvest and Carrywise, they know that what the service they're offering is for people to save money, right? But still, they still want people. Carrywise practically wants everybody that wants to save money. Piggyvest wants the same. So now, how is Piggyvest and Carrywise going to entice these people when they basically do the same thing? That's when brand strategy comes in. So brand strategy comes in. During brand strategy, usually the stakeholders in the company are present, the CEO, the founder, whatever. You ask them, where do you see this? Sometimes you even ask staffs too. Where do you see this company in the next 10 years? How do you define this company? Who are you trying to reach? Who are your audiences? Who are the people that would typically buy what this company sells and things like that? You want to understand how that is going to work, right? Now, that's what brand strategy does. You find the kind of people that you're trying to reach. You find the kind of way that you would be able to reach these people. So when you know that this is what we want our brand to be, we want our brand to be the bank of the free. We want our bank to be the brand that builds the payment infrastructure of the internet. That's Stripe. You want basically various different definition, financial freedom, Carrywise, all those things. We know that this is what we want our brand to be. Now, how do we get from a set of people that are trying to build application to a set of people that people now perceive as that we want them to perceive us as? That's how we get from where we are to where we are going, is the strategy. That's what you call brand strategy. Now, there is a visual, there are different aspects of branding, right? There is awareness, there is how you do customer relations and all those things. Now, when you talk about awareness, you talk about visuals, logos, you talk about visuals, you talk about logos, you talk about colors, typography, and the likes. And these things are very, very important when it comes to how people perceive you, because while you might not know, people do react to all these things, all these elements that we're putting together. So when brand strategy has said that, okay, this is how this company will speak. For example, if you look at Paystack's website, on their Twitter, when they want to announce something, you see them say a team or something like that. That's because they make it seem like, like you're part of their company. You get, right? There's that one. Then there's various kind of places where you see nuance. There's this particular brand on Twitter that when people talk against them, they actually talk to people in like a very, very strict, harsh voice. Like, it will almost sometimes it actually feels like they are like, how do I put it, insulting the person. And that's also how they are, like, that's the persona that their brand is. Now, if you carry that and give it to Piggyvest, you ask Piggyvest that, Piggyvest, why did my money that I sent yesterday did not enter? And Piggyvest replies with, you sent the money yesterday, did you not read the terms and conditions that it's going to take 48 hours for the money to reach where it is going? You are such a stupid person. And like, you probably, the next time your body lands in that Piggyvest, you just remove it straight and delete the application, because you probably will not trust somebody like that with your money. So these things, they are the things that brand strategists consider when they are working on brand strategy. The tone of voice, how will these people talk? It's basically like creating a whole human being, but instead this human being is going to be a business. So now, when it now comes to using visuals to show this brand strategy that we have like decided, so this is how the company is going to speak. We're not exactly going to, let's say the company say they are bank of the free, and then it doesn't say bank of the free. How do people see that, this company is a bank of the free? Somebody has to make a design that says, we are the bank of the free, or you get free transfers or something like that. And in doing these things, what they are basically doing is that they are implementing the strategy that has been decided on by using visual skills to communicate those things. Now, when we now come to product design, so basically the thing that is changing in all these things is the goal. They are all graphic design. And yes, you can start your argument on LinkedIn tomorrow on whether you should call product designers graphic designers and the likes. But the truth of the matter is they are all graphic design. It is what they overlap with. It is the goal that they're trying to achieve. It is what they are trying to do that differs. So when your goal now shifts from achieving brand strategy goals to achieving product and user experience goals, then you shift from doing brand design to doing product design. That's just how it is. The goal is what changes. You still use the same tools. You use typography, still use typography, still use empathy. Empathy goes into all these places, whether you're doing product design or you're doing brand design or anything like that. Now, there is one very, very basic like thing, right? Product design is more of a science in a way. Like there's a way people want to make it mechanical, like you can duplicate it. Now, the thing with brand design is the whole goal of brand design is that you should be different. That's the whole plan. That's why you are doing brand design in the first place. You want to be different. You need all the differentiation that you can get. You don't necessarily have to be unique. You don't have to necessarily be doing something different, but you still have to find a way to separate yourself from people. It could be from your customer, it could be in your customer service, the way you talk, the way you approach people, the way you deal with issues that your customers bring and likes, or just basically your product architecture. Anything basically can separate you when it comes to branding. But usually people say, I know somebody that shared the school of thought that I should not really obsess over being unique, more about satisfying the people that you are trying to reach. And by doing that, that's a lot of uniqueness already. Do you know how many companies don't even satisfy the people that they say that they are serving? So if you can do that successfully, then you're already doing something right. Now, how does this now work when it comes to, when we talk about the relationship between brand design and product design? So hello guys. Hello guys. When did you stop hearing me? A call came in. I'm sorry. Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, so Matthew, please go ahead. Can you tell us, can you explain the stuff that I've written? Quickly run us through. Don't take a lot of time. So it's almost 7. So I would like to use the remaining time to run through the relationship. So
Sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
I said, please tell us, please explain to us the things you have written down in your Paystack versus Flutter Wave. Quickly run us through it.
Okay. Basically, I said the blue in Paystack tells trust to me. Like I just like the blue. The blue tells me.
How did you know that? Wait. How did you know that the blue in Paystack tells trust?
Like for me, I don't know. Like I feel that these people are just authentic.
Wait, so anybody that uses blue like this, you just assume that
No, it's
they
not
know what
everybody
they are
that
doing?
uses blue. Like the way they use it, let them know that there are different people when they use something, there are different usage. You get some people can use it anyhow.
That's true.
So yeah, I said Paystack looks more like PayPal that is accessible. Like PayPal is not really accessible to everyone. You cannot receive payments, you can just send payment, all those kind of restrictions. But Paystack gives you more more kind of freedom. So I see Flutterwave gives diversity. I've used the both, and I feel that I first got to know about Paystack. Flutterwave gives diversity on how I see payments. Like it just gives you this kind of. I see both of them do the same thing, but they just give me this. Flutterwave just give this kind of small touches on their stuffs, like battle or those stuff like that. So I wrote it that Flutterwave and Paystack does almost the same thing. I said I see an edge for Flutterwave due to the ability to put out their products fast and efficiently. Like I was talking about the storefront. I think I got to know Paystack storefront even before. I got to understand that Paystack started their storefront before Flutterwave started. But I think the way Flutterwave pushed it was more effective than Paystack.
No, it is the
Okay.
it's actually the
Yep.
reverse. Flutterwave storefront is more popular than
Yeah, that is what I'm saying. I said I
sorry,
said
Paystack
Paystack.
storefront. Paystack storefront is more popular than Flutterwaves.
Really, but
Yes.
because
Yes.
I feel that because according to what I see, according to what I
How many
feel,
people have you seen with Flutterwave store?
I have seen a lot of people with Flutterwave
I can literally
stocks. Right?
almost, I think except from people that are close to Dami, I don't think I've seen like lots of people that use Flutterwave.
Okay,
Like
Flutterwave. Okay, so
when it comes
because
to
me after me. Okay, good. Because I'm someone that if I've used two products, for instance, just like debating on PiggyVest and Cowrywise, I won't tell you the one I later. So I don't like two things doing the same thing on my phone. So guys, since I've started Paystack and I said that they're almost doing the same thing and I love their stuff. So and I said, what did I say? I said Paystack looks more like a developer. Flutterwave looks more like a designer. Why I said that was Paystack, they kind of relate more with their developers, like the people that actually integrate them into their payment. Like the way you mentioned, you want to start a fintech in Nigeria, you need some APIs, and that is the way Paystack comes. Like they are focused more on that aspect. They are focused more on that aspect. But Flutterwave focus more on people that are going to like they are customers too, they are users, but people that use it to receive payments. Paystack to does the same thing, but according to what I see, let me use their Instagram to judge. Let me judge them based on what they post on their Instagram. Paystack focus more on their developers.
okay, and let's add someone else's view. Where is Erica's stuff? Why I saw this person pick card and well their card is not anywhere to be found. Okay.
Yeah, I wrote it because I just realized I haven't actually paid so much attention to using Flutterways and Paystack because
That
I
was
always
the
like,
point.
oh,
We're trying to get the public perception, not necessarily people that have used the apps. Do you get?
all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, I wish you didn't though. Izuchi, can you go ahead? Can you quickly just run through for us?
Hi everyone again. So totally different branding. Yeah, Paystack is with the blue and the logo is in the P shape, but then with the stack up, like on each other, like the rectangle stacked on each other to form the P. Then Flutterwave, I think recently rebranded. Yes, from yellow. Their color was previously yellow and black and something, I think. But now they have more colors everywhere. And yeah, yes, then their service offerings. I don't know. People say Flutterwave is more cheaper than Paystack. Like the service charge and everything is cheaper than Paystack. And then I think one of them has like a virtual card service or something, while the other doesn't. So yes, yeah.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so the thing is, in my opinion, right, Paystack has like a stronger brand than Flutterwave. Like if I ask you now, where do you want to work? Paystack or Flutterwave?
Uh, well, honestly, I'll say Paystack. But yeah.
Is there anybody that wants to work in Flutterwave? Yeah.
I will still go for Paystack.
Who wants to go for Flutterwave? That's part of branding. Branding also involves attracting employees. So can you see?
The thing is that I would have gone for Flutterwave, but I got to know about Paystack before Flutterwave, and I see that they're almost doing the same thing. So why should I divert? Why should I change? That is why. Why? There's nothing that probably nothing is missing from Paystack that I found in Flutterwave that I'm running to. So why should I change?
Okay, so now look at these things that you have listed, right? Do you know that these things can affect the way people actually use the applications? Hello? Am I making sense?
Yes,
Or
yes, yes, yeah.
Yes, we are.
You are.
So, for example, if you perceive that PiggyVest is trustworthy, for example, I think there was a time that was it PiggyVest or Carry? I think it was Carrywise. Somebody, oh no, it was Paystack. Somebody used Paystack to set up a payment stuff for like adult party or something, for an orgy party. And like I guess that was like against regulations at that point in time. So Flutterwave had to, Paystack had to take down the page, but they reached out to the customer, and then the babe came to Twitter to come and drag them that they are doing one thing. And people actually rose up to fight for Paystack, that they trust Paystack. We've used this brand. They are not a brand that will just do stuff like that if there is no reason for it to be done and things like that. Also, Pentagonia last week, yes, they well, instead of what you call going public, they said they are giving their company to the heads because the head is a shareholder in the company and the likes. There are people that share that value. They share the value that everything that we own comes from the planet, and we should take care of the planet. Global warming, climate change, all those things. There are people that are very particular about it. And when it comes to the kind of products they use, they want those products to take cognizance of that fact. They will not use a fertilizer that is made by products that have destroyed, the planet. They will not use a car that the exhaust would just be releasing CFCs into the atmosphere and things like that. Now, all these things, you may think that they are not very, very, important, like especially if you are not somebody that shares those ideologies. But to people that share these ideologies, building products that people that share those ideologies can use together really, 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 really helps those people and also the brand, because it's kind of like you're part of that community. That's the way it's going to be. And that's why it's actually very good that you should be passionate about whatever it is that you're trying to build for these people, so that you yourself, you can be able to see why what you are doing is important and how what you are doing is affecting lives. Now, if somebody does not trust a company, let's say I don't trust a particular fintech, do you think I will fund my money? I'll put my money in that fintech? No. I mean, somebody even said that they cannot use their mobile app in dark mode. Their mobile app for finance, that they cannot use it in dark mode, that they have to be seeing their money clearly. So you imagine that's the bank should not be doing like they are not trustworthy. If the fact that Kuda Bank does not have an office like all over the place that you can just walk in is one of the reasons why some people don't have an account at Kuda Bank, because they just believe that how can they trust the bank if the bank does not have that they can hold accountable. Now, all these things affect why the amount you want to come and say, yes, I designed an application that had 1 million downloads. People have to feel that the brand is valuable for 1 million people to even think of downloading the application. If they don't think that the company is trustworthy and whatever, they will not download the application in the first place, and you will not start to write when you are writing your own case study. So branding is very, very important. When it comes to expression, brand expression, when it comes to how you design applications, you said the way we design applications now, that everything is looking the same. The way to differentiate that is to pay attention to branding. When you want to design the application, don't just look at how you use design system and whatever. Ask for the brand strategy guideline, the brand strategy document. Read it. How does this company want to appear? That tells you the kind of, should you make the layout serious? What kind of grid should you use? What kind of colors? How should you combine them? Should they be vibrant? Should they be dull? Should they be pastels? Should they be calm? Should they be, very, very shouty and the likes and things like that? It is when you understand like what the brand is supposed to be represented as visually that you will be able to do what you're supposed to do. So basically, the relationship between brand design and product design is a collaboration. Is one discipline using two goals at different points in time, trying to align these goals and make sure that these things, they are working together. So at the crux of it, brand design and product design are actually like brothers. They are stepping stones to each other. So I work in an agency, right? And most times, actually, literally all the time, you most likely would wait for brand designers to be done with the work before you will attempt to even design the website, if like website is part of the commission that we have from the company that we're working for. You have to wait for brand designers to finish, because they're the one that will create the visual assets. When you design for your clients and you look for illustrations, most of you probably just go to all these free pick, you go to on draw and the likes. But when you meet like very, very serious people that they actually mean business about doing branding, you won't use illustration that anybody can just see all over the place. Probably make custom illustrations, customized iconography. And who will do all these things? Brand designers. The brand designer may not even do the illustration, but they will be like the person that will dictate the kind of illustration style that is going to fit into this. Now, another thing is brand designers don't even necessarily, they're not actually supposed to like to do all the things that concerns branding on their own. No, they're supposed to be like the guide, the person that is in the company, and be like, hello everybody, yes, I know you want to be creative, but you calm down. This thing that are doing does not align you to this writing that are writing. Maybe your company is supposed to sound authoritative. They're supposed to sound like people that know what they are doing, right? So that will show in the kind of terminologies that you will use. You will not say font when you're supposed to say typeface, because people expect a certain level of professionality from that particular kind of, brand, in a sense, from that particular person, in a sense. So you want to understand that all like this brand design and product design, they have a lot of shared things, but their goals are different. But while their goals are different, they are still working towards the same thing, and that is to achieve business goals, right? When you do brand strategy, what you are doing, why the brand wants to reach the right set of people, is so that the right sort of people can patronize the brand and bring money in. That's provided like is a profit business. And then why are you doing product design? We're designing the product so that users can use it, we can get revenue, and get the investors to see that we are a valuable company that they should invest in. All these things, they have a goal that they are going towards. So next time you want to fight the brand designer that is in your team, or the brand designer wants to fight the product designer, or you want to fight the front end guy, or anybody on your team, just remember that you people are on the same team and you are working towards the same goals. So instead of trying to, destroy or trying to fight with them. Try to understand why they are not getting the context of what you are saying, or they are not acting the way you would like them to act. And being able to understand this would help you guys to work better and even create better experiences. So yeah, I think that covers everything for now. I will take questions now, if that's okay. Toby, you have the floor.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone. I'm sure like we all learned one or two from everything you said so far. So I have a couple of questions, but at the same time I would leave room for people who on the call who want to ask questions. So if anyone wants to ask a question, can we signify by raising our hand so I can call us up to the stage? Or if we do not want to talk, we could always drop our questions in the chat section as well. But while we wait for that, so I have a question for you, Felix. So what do you think is like the right pathway to becoming a very good product designer? Can anyone hear me?
Sorry, I was muted.
Oh, okay.
Learn both sides, right? You need to be very strong when it comes to expressing yourself visually, and you also need to understand what it means to design for people, what it means to leave your ego and put yourself in other people's shoes so that you can understand their problem and design things that will accurately, or at least to a reasonable point, solve their problems very well, in a very good way. Yeah. So if you can balance those, and you can't do that without having, yes, everybody throws this word around, empathy. Empathy is basically you stepping into the shoes. So that's another way to say it. Yeah. I hope, does that answer your question?
Yeah. So these questions were created from some people who wanted to ask questions. So we have something like you fill in questions when you're registering for the
Okay.
event.
How
So
many
these are some
questions
of
do
the
we have so that we can
questions.
run? How many questions do we have?
Okay, I have like three more to go. I don't know if anybody on the call also has a question. I could allow people to
Okay.
go before I ask my next question.
Go
Okay.
ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so I can see Elijah has a question for you. Hi, Elijah. Okay, so Elijah, you can ask your question.
Hello, yeah, good evening. I don't know if you
Hi.
can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you, Elijah.
Yeah, so I've been listening to everything. So I just wanted to ask, like, when like designing as maybe you're still into new into product design, like what are like the steps like concerning maybe those fictional like projects like case studies. Like what is the step to like fully develop like a case study for a project? Like, does he have a step that you must take through and get to the final stage that will really help you, that will be solid for your portfolio?
With process of achieving what?
Like, if you're developing a project, a case study, processes like of a case study.
See, people, the way you people take case studies too serious, and I don't know. It's just, case study is basically you just write how did you solve this problem. That's it, in your own way. That's like, people want to see you inside the case study, not like the way people write case study now. Everybody's just writing everything the same way, following the same template and the likes. Just write it the way you solved the problem. How did you approach it? What did you do first? How did you make the buttons? How did you pick the type and all those things? Write it down in your own way. What went wrong? When did the client not show up to come and give feedback? How did you resolve that? All those things. That's what you're supposed to put in your case study. That is the way to do case studies and make them actual case studies and not, you know, the regurgitated things that we've been saying all the time. Do you understand?
Yeah, I understand very well. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Toby, I think you should ask the questions. Time is going. This is 9 minutes after it.
Okay, so the other question was how, okay, let me just tell you the remaining questions, right? You've answered the first question from your presentation already. So how important is building design systems for your project? Then what do you think hiring managers look out for in your portfolio?
But all this, most of these things, you people like there's no questions that even ask about the relationship between brand design and product design. There are questions, they're just random product questions. But anyways, what was the first question again? Toby.
Okay, the first question was how important is design system in a
Oh,
project?
okay. So design, what do design systems do? It's supposed to help you with scalability. You want to be able to redo this thing that you have done. You want to be able to use the same components across board. It doesn't just make things better, it makes time fast. Like you'll be able to do a lot of things in less time. Do you understand? It makes work faster. Your process becomes faster because your process is scalable. Your components are the same components that you have been using. The dev will not have a problem like make putting them in place because they've created them before. They can just move those codes into the right places that they're supposed to be. It makes it easier for them to do their job. It basically makes it for everybody on the team self to enjoy their life and do their work. So why would we choose an alternative? If scalability is not a factor, then well, you can probably work with that design system. But when you are talking about being able to scale and even making workflow easy for developers when they want to code what you have designed, I think you should encourage using a design system for those reasons. The other question is, what do recruiters? Well, I'm not a recruiter.
What the hiring manager? So, what would
I-
you recommend? What do you
I'm not
think
a
hiring
recruiter,
managers look out for?
but basically, I think they they want you to be different. That's just it. You can do the work. Show them that you can do the work. Then show them why you can do the work the way you do the work that nobody else will do the work. Like there's something that you add to the way you solve your own problems that people don't solve their own problem, that don't solve their own problem the way you solve it will not add. How do you do your own thing that is different? That's why making your case study personal is very important, right? So how do you do your own thing differently? You get, yeah, that's it. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah. So, this is the point where I would ask if anybody else has any other question. So, I'll just give like a minute for that. If we have questions that we want to ask, now would be the nice time to ask or drop in the chat section. Okay. So I believe that everybody has a good understanding of what we've talked about today. Oh, okay. I see someone has a question. Hi, Olamide. You can type your question or mute and talk, whichever is convenient for you. Yes, please. You can mute yourself and ask your question.
Right. Good evening, everyone. Good evening,
Hi.
boss. Okay, thank you so much for the question. Even if I'm not like for you exactly because I was in the room. But yeah, I've gotten a lot of value from the ones I was able to get. If I am something about portfolio and something about case study that we not have case study class now. I wanted to ask a question. The take for it, like how do you make your case study interesting if you're making it personal? For someone that loves to like tell stories about that like loves to write. So how do you make your case study something that engages people? Because not a lot of people like want to read too much story. So how do you like create a balance? Yeah.
Toby, can you please repeat that question?
So she was muffled a bit. Ibuko, hi, can you like come again?
Okay. Can you hear me very well now?
Yes, much clearer now.
Okay. Sorry. My question is, you mentioned something about the perfect, making your case study personal. So I was at the point I was asking, like, how do you make for someone that likes to write? So knows like tell story a lot. So if you're making a piece of the personal, you're trying to like walk users through your process. How do you make the process engaging such that the text is not too boring for them to like read and stuff like that? So I was like, I'm asking, how do you take a balance between trying to personalize it for you and trying to do something that engages the reader? Yeah.
Okay, so Felix, did you get the question now?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Is I think is you have to write the case study in a way that people will want to read it and not stop reading it until they are done. The 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 rule of thumb is to make them forget that they're actually reading a case study. Like make you feel interesting to them. Don't make it like this is a case study, this is how case study is supposed to be. No, change it. Make it interesting. Make it something somebody wants to read till the end, not just like a bunch of buzzwords and like, do you understand? Alam, Alam, do you understand?
Yes, yes,
Okay, so to respect Felix's time, I think it's time for us to round up, right? So Felix, I'll just like say you should if you are comfortable with people reaching out to you after we end the call, you could just tell us what your Twitter or LinkedIn handle or where we could reach you on so that we could let you go. But before that, we have a culture here where we take selfies. So I don't know if you're in a comfortable place and everybody on the call who wants to join in the selfie too, we could just turn on our camera while our community manager gets to take a picture. Okay, I see no nobody wants to take a picture today. What's happening, guys?
Everyone is in the kitchen.
No
Oh,
lie.
no
Seeing
lights.
everybody's cameras on. All right, so I'll just at least one person. Toby, put on your camera now. At least let's have your face. Is it dark at your end too?
It's dark
Felix,
on my end
I'm
too.
coming out. I'm coming. It's not dark on my end.
okay,
Okay,
fine.
let's
Somebody
do your
has
face.
I'm
criteria.
video.
Fine.
So I'll now be the only one that takes pictures. This is not fair.
No, I'm going to also put on my camera. Matthew,
I saw someone turn on their camera before.
and, o- okay, Matthew, there's
Okay.
lights there. Everybody, okay, let's take few so okay. Felix is still coming. When Felix puts on his camera, we'll take the picture.
Let me try to Okay. Okay.
Erica. Let me call all of you by name. MCTV, Ajala Favor. Everybody put on your camera. Let's take pictures, right? Um, okay, Felix, we need you back on. Elijah, come back on. Your camera was on like 1 second ago. All right, cool. So everybody smile. If you smile, then do the selfie. Felix now went to laugh. All right, take one more before we go. Okay, more cameras are coming on. Keep it coming, guys. Just keep it coming. I need your face, please. All right, cool. Last picture. Say pexels, everybody. Pexels. All right.
Pexels. Pexels.
All right,
Why did
cool.
not
Thank you.
people are not saying pexels? So I just laugh.
Thank you so much,
All right, thank
Felix.
you. All right, put off my camera now. You can put off your camera. Thank
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So you could just tell us where to reach you out, Felix. Do you mind, so
Well,
that we can enter
I'm
your
on
DM for you to cut soap for us?
there's no soap. I'm on Twitter and LinkedIn. I'm basically everywhere. Just search for my name, you see. I'm not that fine.
Okay, Felix Ayoola, right? Okay. So thank you so much for coming to speak to us today, and thank you so much everyone on the call as well that took out time to participate in today's AMA section. We really, really appreciate you taking out time. Wishing everybody a great week ahead. Make sure to rest in between designing and working, and see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye. Bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you very much.
Bye.